Good morning, everyone. This is Miss Mira. Hope everyone is uh, healthy and safe. For today's lesson, I'm going to explain how to divide whole numbers by unit fractions. So in our textbook, it is lesson 10, divide whole numbers by unit fraction. Okay, lesson 10, chapter 10 in our textbook. Okay, first of all, what do I mean by the word unit fraction? The word unit fraction is a fraction with a numerator 1. So fraction with a numerator of 1. Okay. Last class we learned how to multiply fractions. This time we're going to learn how to divide by fractions. So let's have an example, and throughout the example I will explain the rules of how to solve and divide by fractions. So if I have 3 divided by 1 over 4, whenever I have a divide and I have fractions, so anything divided by fractions, I always use a method called Kcf. So it's called Kcf. K is for keep the number the same. C is for, so K is for keep, C is for change from divide to multiply, and F is for flip the fraction, or to find the reciprocal of the fraction. Reciprocal. For example, 1 over 6 becomes 6 over 1. Okay, so whenever we have a question that asks us to divide by a fraction, we use the method called Kcf, which is keep, change, flip, in order to change the fraction from division to multiplication. Okay, so let's follow the Kcf. So K is for the first number, C is for the operation, and F for the unit fraction, since it has a 1 in the numerator. Okay, so first of all, I need to change the whole number into a fraction by adding 1 in the denominator. Next, we have to apply the method that we learned, which is Kcf. Keep means this number will stay the same, it will not change. C means change the divide to multiply, and F means flip the 1 over 4 to be 4 over 1. Once we apply the method, we can notice that we got our final answer to be a fractions multiplied, so multiplying fractions, and we learned that last lesson. Therefore, when we reach to this method, what do? We multiply fractions. How do I multiply fractions? The numerator with the numerator and the denominator with the denominator. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 1 times 1 is 1. Very good. So this is my answer, or my quotient. Okay, now let's have another method. So another method where I can apply Kcf. This lesson is extremely simple. There's absolutely nothing different from the last lesson. The only thing that I need to apply, which is extra, is to apply Kcf to my number. So another example. If I have 4 divided by 1 over 6, again, we have a division, we have a unit. So we have a unit fraction, we have a whole number, and a division. When we have a division and a fraction, we follow Kcf. Okay, first of all, before applying Kcf, I need to change the whole number into a fraction by adding 1 in the denominator. Next, what do? I apply Kcf. K is for keep the number the same, don't change it. Copy it the same. The C for the change it from divide to multiply. And F is for the flip, so to exchange the places of the numbers, so it will be 6 over 1. Okay, as I can notice, I changed my fractions from dividing fractions to multiplying fractions, and therefore I can solve it normally. So numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. So 4 times 6 is 24 over 1, which is equal to 24, which is my answer, or this is my quotient. Okay, let's solve more examples. So please keep in mind or note down that this is my method that I always follow whenever I have a divide by fraction. Okay, next. If I have another example. So let's say 3 divided by 3 divided by 1 over 5. Okay, again, I need to make sure that my whole number is a fraction. I change it by putting 1 in the denominator. Next, I apply my method, which is Kcf. Okay, K is for keep, so keep it the same. It will be 3 over 1. C is for change from divide to multiply. F is for flipping, so it will be 5 over 1. Okay, now I changed my question from dividing fractions to multiplying fractions. Therefore, we follow the multiplication rules, which is multiply the numerator with the numerator, the denominator with the denominator. Okay, so it will be 15 over 1, which is equal to 15. So this is my quotient. Very good. Now, for example, if I want to check that my answer is correct, okay? Generally, if I have a division question by whole numbers, so if I'm dividing whole number by whole number, for example, 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So 20 is my dividend, 4 is my divisor, and 5 is my quotient. If I want to check that my answer is correct, I take my answer and I multiply it with the divisor. So 5 multiplied by 4 would give me 20, which is the dividend, which shows that my answer is correct. So in order to check, I always multiply my quotient, multiply it with the divisor. And if my answer is similar to the dividend, that means that my quotient was correct. Okay, so let's check for this question. So I check for our question. So I'll take the quotient, which was 15. I will multiply it with the divisor, which is what? Which is 1 over 5. So I'll multiply it with 1 over 5. And I need to follow the multiplication steps in order to get my answer to be similar to the dividend. Okay, so let's multiply. First of all, I need to change the 15 into a fraction by adding 1 in the denominator, and then 15 multiplied by 1, numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator, 1 multiplied by 5. 15 times 1 is 15, 5 times 1 is 5. 15 divided by 5 would give me 3. Isn't this answer similar to my answer here? Similar to this? Yes, it is. Therefore, my answer is correct. Great. Let's try another example and check. Okay, another example. So the example and the check. If I have, for example, 6 divided by 1 over 4. Okay, again, first of all, I need to make sure that the 6 is a fraction by adding 1 in the denominator. Next, I apply my method, which is Kcf. Okay, Kcf means that K is keep, so I keep the same number, I do not change it. C means change the divide to multiply, and F means flip it. Flip it means whatever is down, put it up, whatever is up, put it down. So it will be 4 over 1. Great. Now I changed my question from dividing with fractions to multiplying with fractions. Therefore, I can follow the methods of multiplying fractions, which is multiplying numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. So what did I get? 24 over 1. So this is my answer. This is my quotient. Now, so I put the quotient here. Okay, so if I want to check, let me write the question here again. So my question is 6 divided by 1 over 4, and I got my answer to be 24 over 1. Okay, so the 6 is known to be my dividend. 1 over 4 is my divisor. And 24 over 1 is my quotient. Now, in order to check what was my rule, I take the quotient, I multiply it with the divisor, and my answer should be the dividend, to make sure that my answer is correct, to make sure that this is correct. Okay? So what's my quotient? My quotient is 24 over 1. Multiply it with the divisor. What's my divisor? 1 over 4. And then I need to solve this to get 6 at the end. So 24 times 1 over 1 times 4. So I would get 24 over 4. 24 divided by 4, if I simplify it, divide by 4, I would get 6 over 1. Isn't this similar? So isn't this answer similar to this answer? Yes. So my answer is correct. Okay. I can solve one more example to make it clear. So another example and the check. Okay. So let's say 4 divided by 1 over 4. Again, our first step is to change the whole number into a fraction by putting 1 in the denominator. Next, I need to apply my Kcf rule. When do I apply Kcf? I apply it when I have a divide and a fraction. So Kcf, K stands for keep the fraction the same, don't change it. C stands for change the divide to multiply, and F is for flipping whatever my fraction is, exchange the places. Okay, once I apply Kcf, I get my question to multiply fraction, and multiplying fractions, we learned it before, so I multiply 4 by 4 and 1 by 1, so my answer is 16 over 1. 16 over 1 is our final answer, or 16. Okay, 16 divided by 1 is 16. So when I'm checking, I need to know which one was my divisor, which one was my dividend, and what is my quotient. Okay, so this is my dividend, this is my divisor, and this is my quotient. Okay, for checking, what was our rule? So we take the quotient, we multiply it with the divisor, and our answer should be the dividend. In order to make sure that our answer, our quotient was correct, we need to get our dividend as our final answer in the check. So what is my quotient? 16 over 1 multiplied by the divisor. What's my divisor? 1 over 4. Let's solve it. 16 multiplied by 1 over 1 multiplied by 4. I get 16 over 4. Simplify, divide by 4, divide by 4. My answer would be 4 over 1, which is also equal to 4. So, as we can see, my answer is similar to my dividend, which shows that whatever my answer was here is correct. Okay, I hope with all these examples explained and explaining the rules that everything is clear. You can solve your textbook, you can solve extra worksheets as a practice in order to practice the skill and practice how to solve these type of questions. Thank you everyone for listening.